Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to another Rips with KiPs. Today's episode is going to be talking about Bill 10 and our rights as human beings. But before I get into it, so I don't get too angry, and I've missed this the last couple episodes, so I'm sorry for that, guys. We're going to take 3 deep breaths and we're going to take a bong toke, and then we'll begin talking about it. Or I'm going to lose my temper. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And out. Bill 10 and our rights and freedoms of what we should and should not be watching, what we should and should not be listening to, what we should and should not be saying is communist. My biggest musical idol, because I am a musician, of course, and it's been my main gig since I've been a baby, basically, is to put truth out there and to help people heal through related experience. You know, love and understanding, knowing that they can get through whatever situation they're portrayed or pushed through. Now, I took that from Johnny Cash. I took that from Ryan Adams. They're both American. This does not mean I want to be American. These are people who wrote, who spoke generally to my heart and my soul and intrigued me and made me want to do things like that. And just because I live in another country doesn't mean that, you know, like it's a whole thing, oh, I want to be American. No, I'm not saying I want to be American. I just enjoy certain artists from their countries, certain shows. And even if they tell me you're not allowed to watch them, I've got hard copies, DVDs of stuff that I've been watching for years that are from American made companies. So what are you going to do? Are you going to come and get me and stop me? No one's ever going to tell me what I can and cannot say as long as I'm not being hateful. And that's not how I want to be anymore. So the hateful bullshit, it's just, you know, it's mostly done with me. And I'm not going to tolerate it. And for us to cut ourselves off from, you know, the other side of another country we live on just because the Prime Minister feels that we are not Canadian enough. This goes out to you, Mr. Trudeau. And I may be some stupid old stoner, but whatever. You know? I voted for you strictly and straight out because you were going to make weed legal. And it made me feel more accepted as a human being in Canada, in this country. It made me feel like I was going to be treated like some street criminal or looked at as a wackadoo or whatever, especially growing up in a place that has mostly rural setting people. You know, and it wasn't easy. Now, yes, I enjoy rural settings to a certain extent, but it's not the only part in me that exists. Just because you're based to a place and you were born in a place does not mean you have to subscribe to some label that is put on everyone all around us. You know? Just be you. Be love, you know? That's what it's all about. I'm all for speaking your word, and I will do it till the day I die or the day they put a bullet in me for saying it. But I'm not all for spreading hatred or anger or pain. Speak your word if it's for love. Speak your word if it's for truth. And I'm talking about real truth, not just your truth. I'm talking about the truth that all lives within us. The truth that has been in front of us, regardless of that of what society may want us to see and brush off and think, oh, it's okay to forget bad things ever happened, blah, 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 because that's just their way. And then they just jump back right into what they're doing and they forget about what they were trying to do and become just this kind of mindless drone. Yes, use things to fill your mind when bad things happen. Try to relax and push everything to the side eventually, but you have to mourn. You have to feel. You have to say what's in your heart and not superimpose yourself into a situation that creates a lie. Lies aren't the way to live. And with Bill C10 covering up as much stuff as they will on YouTube, which I just joined. Well, I didn't join it, but I just started putting even more videos up within the last 2 weeks. Of course, this would happen, right? And they want to just kind of steer us towards more of Canadian valued items. I take inspiration worldwide, especially being a full-blooded Celtic man, you know, basically. Those are my roots, you know, Welsh and Irish. So, with that being said, it's not just our heritage of the country we are born in that we celebrate as human beings. If we're on a totem of wisdom, put it that way, we look to the past, to our ancestors, to see where we came from, that of which we are derived, and how we build as human beings throughout generations. And we have the ability to change for the better or rise to the occasion of knowing better. But we always, always have choice. They can make a million laws banning us from saying everything we'd like to say. But in the end, it is us who has the choice. The words from our mouth do not stop. The love from our heart does not stop. The things we have to portray to keep the world alive away from evil, morose ways, it doesn't stop. Unison is the only way to break this chain of covering up the rights of what should be said and what shouldn't be said. My music, straight out, always has gone against the grain of society, and it always will. I don't agree with how we do things. A lot of people have said to me, "Oh, what's your plan for stuff?" I have certain plans I would do, but I would never run for office, because if you go back to Kings, Book of Kings in the Bible, and see how power corrupted man so badly, and I'm not just talking about I'm not talking biblically here. I'm talking about historically, politically, what it does to a human being when they're put in power. It corrupts us completely. I would never want to be in that option of being corrupted. you're letting so many people down, or you're lifting so many people up. And the most times, if you're highly wealthy, you're lifting most people up, and that's nothing that needs to be done, you know? We're better than this. Speak your mind, as long as it's full of love and not hatred. Speak your heart, as long as you have only love and not hatred for your fellow man. And speak the truth of that of which we struggle with every day, that of which we live with every day, that of which we love of every day. Don't boast and brag. And remember, they have no rule over what you can and cannot say, live or not live, as long as you do it with good intent and a pure heart. Do not spread hatred. Spread love. Walk away from this foolishness that is being pushed upon us, telling us that we will be watched and sanctioned because of our behavior and what we say. If they take away your right to say it over the internet to every public person you want to, get out on the street corners. As long as you got a mask on your face, you can yell what you want and they won't say a fucking thing and they'll leave you alone. Most likely, anyway. They're telling me I can't busk right now, which is because of the whole idiot lockdown thing again, which understandably so. But when people are told not to go somewhere, don't fucking go somewhere. Especially Brazil or some shit, you know, like, and that's not a racist thing. That's just saying things are wild all over the world right now. If you're not in a place with proper health care and you go to some place, and I'm not saying they don't have proper health care, but if you go to some place that has high tourist traffic, you're bound to get sick sometime, someday. It doesn't matter. What they consider to be our basic laws are being taken away, our basic rights, are being taken away because they know within a time of crisis they can control us. If the guidelines are going to save our asses, good for them. But also remember, I watch people out there now and they're so afraid of each other. Don't be afraid of each other. That's what they want. That's part of it. You know? You don't have to be afraid to say hello to someone if they say hello to you. You don't have to be afraid of somebody if they look different from the way you do, you know? It's not needed. Laws like Bill 10 push aside unity of mankind, unity and love of freedom of choice, which God Himself gave us. We're lucky to have. We always have choice. I want you guys to listen and to follow whatever you think is right, as long as no one is getting hurt or no one is getting spoken hatred to. And remember, we can beat Bill 10, so please fight hard for us to keep our rights as human beings and Canadians to say what we need and want to say out of truth, instead of letting certain aspects of certain realms take us down. And those realms may differ for many people within this video, but yeah, that's the best I got. Anyway, I love you all. Please stay safe. Do the right thing. Don't sit on your keisters this time with your hands underneath them going, oh, I don't need to do anything about this, because this is only the beginning. You know, it's like that woman who died on a New York sidewalk after, I think it was 2.5 hours or something a couple of years back, because all these New Yorkers just kept walking by her and ignored her. Didn't care, didn't want to help her. If we keep that kind of behavior up, where we just let things go by and live in the comfort of our squalor, then we deserve what we get. So let's make the right choice. Peace and love, y'all. This is Rips with KiPs, Episode 1, Season 2, Bill 10 and the Basic Rights. Peace and love.